Naomi sat by the small wooden window, staring into the distance. Her eyes were swollen from crying, and her thin fingers tightly gripped the edge of her wrapper. She was only 19, but life had already dealt her heavy blows. Her mother was dying slowly and painfully from a disease the doctors said needed urgent surgery. If not, she would not live. Naomi had no money. Her mother had no money. Her father refused to help. Her father was a proud man with 2 wives. Naomi's mother was the first wife, gentle, loving, and humble. But the second wife, Clara, was loud, wicked, and manipulative. Clara had a daughter named Bella, who was the same age as Naomi. Since childhood, Bella had treated Naomi like a slave. Bella enjoyed every good thing in the house, while Naomi was made to clean, cook, and suffer. Her father never said a word, even when Clara insulted Naomi's mother right in front of him. Naomi wiped her tears as she remembered what the doctor said. They needed 1 million naira for the surgery. Her heart broke. Where would she get that kind of money? She had sold everything, even her clothes, her mother's wrappers, and cooking pots. Still, the money wasn't enough. That evening, Clara walked into the room without knocking. She stood at the door, folding her arms, and said coldly, "So your mother is still breathing. I thought by now we'd be free from her burden." Naomi said nothing. Clara continued, "Well, there's someone who wants to help you. He said he will pay all the hospital bills, but you must agree to something." Naomi looked up slowly. Her heart began to pound. "What is it?" Clara smirked. Her voice was low and wicked. "He wants to marry you. He's crippled but very rich. He saw you at the market and said he likes you. If you agree, he will pay for your mother's treatment immediately." Naomi's mouth dropped open. "What are you saying? Marry a man I don't even know just like that? Because he is rich?" Clara laughed. "You have no choice unless you want your mother to die." That night, Naomi cried like never before. Her mother lay on a mat, too weak to speak. Naomi held her hand and whispered, "I will save you, Mama. I promise, I will do anything. I will marry him." The next day, Naomi went to see the man. His name was Mr. Raymond. He lived in a beautiful mansion at the edge of town. He was just 35, but an accident had left him paralyzed from the waist down. He sat in a wheelchair, looking cold and quiet. He asked Naomi, "Are you doing this because of the money?" Naomi swallowed hard and said, "Yes, but I promise to be a good wife. I just want my mother to live." Raymond looked at her silently, then said, "All right. We will get married tomorrow. I'll pay for your mother's surgery now." Naomi nodded, unable to hold back the tears rolling down her cheeks. That same evening, Raymond's driver rushed to the hospital and cleared all the bills. Naomi's mother was taken to the operating room, and Naomi went home to pack her few belongings. Clara watched her with jealousy in her eyes, while Bella sneered, saying, "So now you're marrying a man in a wheelchair. Good luck with that." Naomi ignored them and quietly packed. She went to her mother's side before leaving, kissed her forehead, and whispered, "I love you, Mama. Forgive me for what I'm about to do." The next morning, Naomi wore a simple dress and entered the car waiting outside, and just like that, she became Raymond's wife. No celebration, no music, just silence and tears. When she arrived at Raymond's mansion after the marriage, the house was quiet. The workers looked at her with pity. None of them smiled, none said, "Welcome." Raymond told her, "This room is yours. We don't have to act like husband and wife, just do what you came to do and stay out of my way." Naomi nodded and entered the room. It was beautiful, large with a soft bed and clean sheets, but her heart felt heavy. She sat on the edge and broke down in tears. What had she done? Was this the beginning of her freedom or a deeper kind of prison? Naomi woke up early the next morning, still confused and scared. The soft bed she had slept on felt like a coffin. Her eyes were swollen, her lips were dry. She had barely slept through the night. She sat up and looked around the big room. Everything looked expensive but cold, no love, no warmth. She bathed quietly, dressed in a simple gown, and stepped out of the room slowly. She walked through the long, silent hallway and entered the kitchen. The housekeeper, named Mama Ruth, was already up, cooking breakfast. Mama Ruth was a woman in her late 50s, with kind, tired eyes. She looked at Naomi with a mixture of pity and curiosity. "You're the new wife?" she asked, not smiling. "Yes, Ma," Naomi replied softly. "Call me Mama Ruth. Everyone does here." Naomi nodded and sat down quietly. That morning, Raymond didn't come out to eat. He stayed in his room, his door always shut. Naomi didn't know what to do. Should she knock? Should she leave him alone? She waited until Mama Ruth served his food, then offered to take it to him. Mama Ruth looked surprised, but handed her the tray. Naomi walked slowly to his door and knocked gently. "Come in," he said. His voice was cold. She opened the door and entered. He was sitting by the window in his wheelchair, staring outside. "Good morning, sir," she greeted politely. He turned slowly and looked at her, his eyes sharp like a blade. "Leave it on the table, and go." Naomi obeyed without a word and quietly walked out. Days passed like that. Naomi moved through the mansion like a ghost. She cleaned her room, helped Mama Ruth in the kitchen, and stayed quiet. She only spoke when spoken to. Raymond never said more than a few words to her. He never looked at her unless necessary. Naomi felt like a stranger in her own marriage. Sometimes she wondered if he truly hated her, or just hated himself. One afternoon, Naomi sat in the garden alone, staring at the flowers. She heard the sound of wheels behind her and turned. It was Raymond, wheeling himself slowly toward her. She stood up quickly, but he said, "Sit." "I want to talk." She sat nervously. He stared at the flowers, then said, "I know you don't love me. I know you only married me because of your mother." Naomi opened her mouth, but he stopped her with a raised hand. "Let me finish. I don't blame you. I'm not angry. But I need you to understand something. I've been through a lot. Women left me after the accident. Friends abandoned me. People only come close because of my money. You are no different." Naomi felt a sharp pain in her chest, but said nothing. She looked down at her hands. Raymond continued, "But for some reason, I believe you are different. You could have married any rich man. But you chose me. A cripple." Naomi looked up at him, tears forming in her eyes. "I didn't choose you, sir. I chose to save my mother's life, and now I'm here, trying to make the best of it. I didn't come to hurt you." He stared at her again for a long time, then wheeled himself away without a word. That night, Naomi cried again. She missed her mother. She missed her old life. Even though it was full of pain, at least she had her freedom. Here, she was living in a golden prison with a man who didn't want her but wouldn't let her go. A week later, Naomi visited her mother at the hospital. The surgery had been successful. Her mother was weak but alive. When her mother saw her, she smiled faintly and held her hand. "My daughter, my joy. Thank you. Thank you for saving me." Naomi cried and held her tightly. "I did what I had to, Mama." Her mother whispered, "I know you're not happy. But please hold on. God will surprise you. Don't give up." Naomi nodded silently. She kissed her mother's forehead and left. When Naomi returned to the mansion that day, something had changed. Raymond was in the living room with a guest. A woman dressed in fancy clothes and too much makeup. The woman looked at Naomi from head to toe, then scoffed. "So, this is the new wife," she said, her voice full of mockery. Raymond didn't respond. Naomi greeted politely and tried to excuse herself. But the woman stood up and said, "Is this what you married? I thought you had better taste." Raymond turned to her slowly and said, "Get out." The woman was shocked. "What did you say?" "I said, get out. Now and don't come back." The woman hissed, grabbed her bag and stormed out. Naomi stood at the top of the stairs, frozen. "Who was that?" she asked quietly. Raymond looked up at her. "An ex-girlfriend, now a snake." Naomi said nothing and went to her room. But deep down, something small had shifted. For the first time, she felt a tiny bit of respect. Later that evening, Raymond knocked on her door, for the first time since she arrived. She opened it. He looked tired and serious. "Can I come in?" he asked. She nodded. He entered. "I'm sorry for everything," he said, "for treating you like a stranger. You didn't deserve that." Naomi was speechless. He continued, "I've been scared, Naomi. Scared that you'd hurt me like the rest. I've built walls around myself. but maybe it's time to break them. Naomi sat beside him quietly and said, "I'm not perfect, sir, but I'm not here to destroy you. If you give me a chance, I will try to be a good wife." 2 days after, Naomi's mother was still recovering in the hospital. Though she was weak, she felt grateful to be alive. Her heart was full of prayers for her daughter Naomi. Every time she closed her eyes, she whispered, "God bless my daughter. She gave up everything just to save me. Reward her, Lord." That afternoon, a loud, sharp voice echoed in the hospital hallway. A nurse came in and whispered to Naomi's mother, "There's a visitor, your co-wife." Before Naomi's mother could respond, Clara, the second wife, burst into the room. She didn't greet, she didn't smile. She just folded her arms and looked down at the sick woman on the hospital bed with disgust in her eyes. "Well, well, well," Clara began, her voice full of mockery. "So you're still alive? I heard the surgery was successful. What a pity." Naomi's mother stared at her without saying a word. Clara moved closer. "You should have died, woman. You were supposed to be gone forever. I don't know why you survived this surgery, you witch. But don't worry. Just come home first. You will suffer. You hear me? You will suffer even more than before." Naomi's mother struggled to sit up. Her body was weak, but her spirit was on fire. She clenched her fists. "You evil snake," she snapped. "You think I don't know your plans? You think I'm afraid of you? Let me warn you today. I may be down, but I'm not defeated. I will not let you destroy my home." Clara laughed. "Home? What home? The same home your husband now shares with me and my daughter. You still call that a home?" Naomi's mother's eyes burned with anger. "You came into my marriage like a thief. You stole my husband, turned him against me, and poisoned his heart. But you know what? You will suffer. You and that your foolish husband will suffer. Believe me, my God is watching." Clara's laughter turned bitter. "Where was your so-called God when you were suffering with illness, lying in that small room like a dog? Where was your useless God when you were begging for money, crying up and down like a beggar? You people should learn to stop disturbing God with your foolishness." Naomi's mother's eyes burned with tears, but she refused to look away. "Your wicked husband had the money, but refused to help me. How heartless and stupid can you all be? But thank God my beautiful daughter is happily married to a wealthy man. She did what she had to, and now she's living well." Clara scoffed. "Wealthy man? You mean that crippled, ugly thing? You call that happiness? You must be mad." Naomi's mother sat up straighter. "That's none of your business, you frustrated, ugly woman. Get out of this room," Clara hissed, rolled her eyes, and stormed out of the room, slamming the door behind her. As soon as she left, Naomi's mother broke into silent tears. Her heart beat fast with fear. She remembered Clara's threats and how evil that woman could be when angry. She knew something was wrong, something terrible was being planned. She wiped her tears and looked around the room. A nurse walked in a few minutes later to check on her. Naomi's mother held her hand. "Nurse, please," she whispered. "Help me. Please call my daughter. Tell her to come. I need to see her now." The nurse nodded gently and stepped out to make the call. Naomi's mother lay back down, shaking her head slowly. She stared at the ceiling, praying under her breath. "Lord, I have suffered enough. Please don't let my daughter suffer because of me. Protect her from the wickedness of that house. I feel something dark coming. Please, God, stop it before it's too late." She closed her eyes and waited, hoping her daughter would arrive before the storm did. Naomi was in the kitchen, helping Mama Ruth prepare dinner when her phone rang. She wiped her hands and picked it up. It was the hospital nurse. "Hello? Nurse Joy, is everything okay?" she asked quickly. "Yes, Naomi. Your mother is fine, but she's asking to see you urgently. She said it's very important." Naomi's heart skipped. The way the nurse spoke made her uneasy. "Okay, I'm coming right away." She didn't even change her clothes. She told Mama Ruth she had to leave and rushed out of the mansion, tears already forming in her eyes. Her mother had been doing better. What could be wrong now? 30 minutes later, Naomi arrived at the hospital. She entered the room and found her mother sitting upright, her face pale and her eyes worried. "Mama," Naomi cried, rushing to her side. "Are you all right? What happened?" Her mother held her hand tightly and pulled her close. "Naomi, my daughter, listen to me. Something is wrong. Clara came here today. She insulted me, but that's not what worries me. It's what she said. Naomi looked confused. What did she say? She said if I come home, I will suffer more. She said I was supposed to die, and then she mocked you for marrying Raymond, calling him a cripple. Naomi's face turned red with anger. How dare she? She's a devil, Mama. That woman has no heart. Her mother held her hand tighter. That's not all. I can feel it in my bones, Naomi. Something is not right in that house. They are planning evil. I don't know what, but it's serious. I don't want to go back to that house. Naomi blinked, confused. What are you saying, Mama? That's your husband's house. You've lived there for over 20 years. I don't care. I'd rather sleep under a bridge than go back there. That house is cursed. It is filled with hatred and bitterness. Naomi stood up, pacing the room. That woman is a devil. But Mama, you can't just abandon your home because of her. I can, and I will, her mother said firmly. Naomi, that house is no longer my home. I felt it the day your father allowed Clara to take over everything. I begged him for help when I was sick. He looked away. I could have died if not for you. You're the only reason I'm still alive. So no, I will not go back to a place that wanted me dead. Naomi sat back down, overwhelmed. But Mama, where will you stay? Her mother looked up at her with eyes full of pain and fear. That's why I asked the nurse to call you. I want you to speak to your husband. Let me stay with you for some time. I know it may not be easy, but I cannot go back to that woman. Naomi, they are planning something. I can feel it. Naomi swallowed hard, thinking of Raymond's coldness, his recent softness, and how strange everything had felt. You think it's that serious? She asked softly. I know it is, her mother said. Clara's mouth spoke insults, but her eyes carried something darker, something evil. And your father? He didn't even come to see me once. Naomi nodded, her heart heavy. All right, Mama, I'll talk to Raymond. You can't go back there. No matter what, I won't leave you alone. Her mother leaned back and breathed in deeply, tears running down her cheeks. My daughter, you are my only joy. Thank you. Naomi stood at the hospital door, watching her mother slowly drift off to sleep, but her heart refused to rest. Clara's words kept ringing in her ears like an alarm that wouldn't stop. I don't want to go back there, her mother had said. They're planning evil. Naomi turned around and walked straight to the doctor's office. She knocked gently and entered. Doctor, please, she said firmly. I want my mother's room to be secured. I don't want anybody to come looking for her, not even her husband or any family member. The doctor was surprised by her seriousness, but nodded. Okay, I will inform the security team. We'll make sure she's safe until discharge. Thank you, doctor. I'll be discharging her tomorrow morning, Naomi added before leaving. Meanwhile, Clara had already returned home and stormed into the sitting room, where her husband, Chief Aide, sat reading. She survived, Clara shouted, dropping her bag. That useless woman survived the surgery, and can you believe she had the guts to insult me at the hospital? Chief Aide looked up sharply. You went to the hospital? What did you say to her? I told her the truth, Clara replied without remorse, that she should have died, that her daughter married a cripple because of money, and that she would suffer more if she ever returns home. Chief Aide stood up angrily. Are you mad, Clara? Do you know what you've done? You've ruined everything. She'll call Naomi now, and they'll hide her. You talk too much. I told you to wait. Now we've lost the chance to take her by surprise. Clara's eyes widened. But I didn't know. Shut your mouth, he snapped. We're going there first thing tomorrow morning. We must bring that woman back here to suffer. She must return, whether she wants to or not. That evening, Naomi got home feeling like a shadow of herself. She couldn't eat. She couldn't rest. Her thoughts were with her mother. What if her wicked father and Clara went to the hospital early? What if they forced her mother back home? What if they bribed someone? She sat on her bed, troubled, thinking deeply. How do I tell Raymond about this? Will he understand? After some hesitation, she stood up and walked to Raymond's room. She knocked gently. Come in, Raymond said. Naomi entered and sat down quietly. Raymond looked up from his file and noticed the worry in her eyes. Naomi, are you okay? I need to tell you something, and I hope you'll understand. She explained everything. Clara's visit, the insults, the threats, and her fear that her mother would be taken forcefully from the hospital. Raymond sat in silence, listening. Then he picked up his phone and made a call. "Go to Central Hospital. Ask for Mrs. Ease. You're taking her to her daughter. You have 20 minutes. He dropped the phone and turned to Naomi. "Your mother will be here in 20 minutes. Nobody will harm her." Naomi stared at him, her eyes wide with shock. "Really?" "Yes. You should know by now, I protect what belongs to me," he said calmly. Naomi burst into tears. "Thank you, Raymond." 20 minutes later, a black SUV pulled into the compound. Naomi ran outside, the car door opened, and her mother stepped out, weak but smiling. "Mummy," Naomi cried and hugged her tightly. "Thank God you're here. Now I can sleep peacefully." Her mother held her daughter and whispered, "And thank God for my great in-law Raymond. He is the best in-law ever." From the window, Raymond watched them quietly. For the first time in years, his heart felt warm. Early the next morning, Clara and her husband arrived at the hospital in a hurry. Chief Aide walked ahead with a scowl on his face, and Clara followed closely behind, fuming. They marched straight to the reception and asked to see Naomi's mother. The nurse on duty directed them to the doctor's office. When they entered, the doctor looked up and greeted them politely. "Good morning. How may I help you?" Chief Aide spoke first. "We are here to take my wife home. She was admitted here for surgery. Her name is Mrs. Ease." The doctor flipped through the file, then looked back at them. "She was discharged last night. Her daughter came and took her home." Clara's voice rose immediately. "What? You allowed that girl to take her? Without informing us? Are you mad, doctor?" "That woman belongs to her husband," Chief Aide shouted. "How dare you let her daughter take her away like she owns her?" The doctor's face changed, his eyes narrowed. "I don't understand you both. Are you saying the daughter has no right to her own mother? You both must be very stupid. That woman nearly died, and none of you showed up to help. Now you want to claim ownership of her like property," Clara hissed. "You don't know anything. That woman is my co-wife. She was never meant to leave that hospital alive. This is your fault." The doctor stood up, furious. "Get out of my office right now, both of you, and never come back. Wicked souls like you don't deserve to be near this hospital. You abandoned her, and now you're here shouting because her daughter saved her life. Shame on you." Chief Aide tried to talk again, but the doctor pointed to the door. "Out." They had no choice. They stormed out angrily, heads boiling. As they entered the car and drove off, they both sat in silence at first. But after a few minutes, Clara started. "This is all your fault. I told you we should have gone to that hospital last night. Now she's gone." Chief Aide snapped. "Don't start with me, Clara. You're the one who rushed there and opened your big mouth, insulting her and ruining everything. Now you're blaming me." "Because you're weak," Clara shouted. "You couldn't even stop your own daughter from stealing your wife." "Shut your mouth, Clara. If you hadn't been running your mouth yesterday, none of this would have happened. Now she's gone, and we've lost control. Don't blame me for your foolishness." They kept shouting at each other as the car sped down the road, their faces filled with anger and shame. The plan had failed, and Naomi's mother was no longer within their reach. Naomi sat on the edge of the bed, thinking about Raymond. She remembered how he didn't waste a second when she told him about her mother's safety. He just made one phone call and everything changed. Her mother was home, safe and resting. She couldn't stop thinking about it. No one had ever stood up for her that way. Not even her own father. She stood up, walked to the door, hesitated, then turned back. Her heart was beating fast. She knew something was growing inside her. It was not just gratitude. She was starting to like him. Not because of his money, not because of what he did for her mother, but because of who he was. Quiet, strong, kind. Even in a wheelchair, he acted like a man who could move the world if he wanted. She walked to his door and knocked gently. His voice came from inside, calm as always. "Come in." She opened the door and stepped inside. He was sitting near the table, reading a book. He looked up. "Yes? Can I talk to you?" she asked. He nodded. She walked closer. "I came to thank you," she said. He looked confused. "Thank me for what?" "For saving my mother, for believing me, for not asking questions, for acting fast, for protecting her like she was your own." Raymond kept quiet. Naomi continued, "Nobody has ever done something like that for me, not even my father. You didn't have to help me, but you did. You treated me like family. I just want you to know that I see it. And I feel it." Raymond looked down. "It was the right thing to do," he said. Naomi shook her head. "Number, it was more than that. You chose to help me, and I will never forget that." She stepped closer to him. "When I came into this house, I was scared. I didn't know how to live with you. I thought you hated me. But slowly, you started showing me another side of you, and now I feel safe around you." Raymond looked up slowly. Naomi was standing right in front of him. He didn't say a word. She looked at him, her eyes soft, her voice low. "I don't know what this feeling is yet, but I know I'm not pretending. I just wanted to thank you properly." Before Raymond could speak, Naomi leaned forward and kissed him on the cheek. It was soft and slow. She pulled back quickly and looked down. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I don't know what came over me." Raymond didn't move. He looked at her face quietly. "It's fine," he said. "You surprised me, but I didn't hate it." Naomi smiled a little. "You've been alone for too long, haven't you?" Raymond nodded slowly. "People left me after the accident. They said they loved me, but they couldn't handle the wheelchair. They disappeared." Naomi held his hand. "I'm not them. I'm not going anywhere. I came here for my mother, but now I'm here for something more. Maybe it's too early, maybe not. But I feel something." Raymond looked at her hand in his. "You're not pitying me." "No," Naomi replied. "If I pitied you, I wouldn't have kissed you." Raymond gave a small smile. "Thank you," he said, "for everything you said." Naomi stepped back. "I should let you rest." She turned to leave. "Naomi," he called. She turned back. "Yes?" "You're different," he said. Naomi smiled. "I know." She left the room. Back in the village, Clara sat outside her house when a loud, angry voice filled the air. She looked up and saw a furious woman marching straight toward her. "Clara," the woman shouted, "this is the last warning I will give you. Tell your loose daughter to stay away from my husband. Tell her to leave him alone, or she will not live to see another day." Clara stood up slowly, her eyes sharp. "Are you mad? Who do you think you're threatening like that? You come to my face and talk like a dog with no chain." The woman stepped closer. "You heard me. I'm not like Naomi's mother that allowed you to take over her home. Let your daughter try me. Just try me, and I will teach her a lesson she will never forget." Clara laughed bitterly. "My daughter? You mean my beautiful, classy daughter? It's your foolish husband that is chasing her up and down like a dog looking for bone. Look at you, jealous thing. That's why your husband doesn't respect you. You are local, dirty, and ugly. That's why he chose my daughter over you." The woman shouted, "Shut up, Clara. Shut your rotten mouth. Beautiful daughter, you say? She's just like you. A foolish homebreaker. A disgrace. Like mother, like daughter. You used charm to collect another woman's husband, and now your daughter is doing the same. You useless woman." Clara's eyes turned red. "Say that again, and I will beat you right now. Do you know who I am in this village?" "I don't care who you are," the woman replied. "Just warn that thing you call daughter. If she comes close to my husband again, I will bury her with my bare hands." "I'm not joking." Clara moved closer. "Get out of my face, you miserable old crow. Your husband saw gold and left a cockroach. That's your pain. Go and tie him down with rope if you're scared." The woman hissed. "God will punish you, Clara. May you and your daughter eat the same pain you gave others. Shameless thing." She turned around and walked away, still cursing. Clara shouted after her, "Go and cry somewhere else. My daughter is not her mother's type. She's too hot for your hopeless husband." Idiot. Naomi's father sat on a stool holding his old phone. His eyes were full of bitterness as he dialed Raymond's number. When Raymond picked up, his voice was calm. "Hello, sir." Naomi's father didn't waste time. "Young man, I'm calling to tell you to return my wife to me. Bring her back to this house, or you will regret it. Are you marrying both mother and daughter now? Just let me know. I will gladly give her to you as far as money is involved." Raymond's voice changed. "With all due respect, sir, I think you are very foolish. How can you say I should marry your wife? What kind of man says that?" Naomi's father laughed. Why are you angry? I thought you said you love Naomi. So take her mother too. Or are you trying to act holy now? Raymond raised his voice. I thought you said you don't love her, that your second wife is your true love. Why is she suddenly so important to you now? Why are you so desperate for her to return? Naomi's father replied quickly, I miss her food. She cooks better than Clara. Clara is always forming big madam. Your second wife is the one that knows how to cook well. Raymond snapped. You are wicked, sir. You don't deserve her. She's not coming back to that house until she is fully healed. If I find out you are trying to threaten or hurt her, I won't take it lightly. Naomi's father shouted, You crippled boy, you better mind your business. You think you can talk to me like that? Try me, and I will deal with you, Raymond replied coldly. You will do nothing. You think I'm afraid of you? I don't think you know who you're talking to. Be careful, sir. Naomi's father paused, then his tone changed quickly. My great-in-law, I'm sorry. Don't be angry. I was just joking. Please, things are hard. Send me something small. I have no money right now. Raymond hissed. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're begging the same man you just insulted. This is why your wife left. You're a disgrace, sir. Then he ended the call. Naomi's father stared at the phone, boiling with rage. This small boy has insulted me. I will deal with him. He thinks he has won. He doesn't know who I am. I must deal with him. Crippled fool. Few days later, Raymond looked into Naomi's eyes and held her hand gently. Naomi, I want to do things the right way. I want us to have a proper wedding, not like the quiet traditional one we did before. I'm talking about a real court wedding. With your consent, with joy, and with love. Naomi smiled deeply. I'd love that, Raymond. I want to marry you properly. Thank you for trusting me. That same evening, Raymond visited his mother to tell her the good news. His heart was full of joy, but his mother's face remained hard as stone. She sat with her arms folded, watching him closely. Mama, Raymond began, I came to talk to you about something very important. I want to do a proper wedding with Naomi. A court wedding. Something real, with blessings and full respect. I love her, Mama. His mother raised her brow slowly. You love her? Raymond, are you sure this girl truly loves you, or are you just lost in your feelings? Raymond looked confused. Mama, what do you mean? Naomi has been nothing but good to me. She has never used me or asked for anything. His mother shook her head. I don't believe that. I don't trust her. I think she's after your money. Especially with that her useless mother now living in your house. It's too suspicious. I don't like it. Mama, that's not fair. Her mother was sick and almost died. Naomi sacrificed everything for her. How can you speak like that? Because I'm your mother, and I know the world more than you, she replied sharply. Listen to me. I will make sure your father doesn't give you his blessing if you go ahead with this nonsense wedding. That girl is too calm, too quiet. I don't trust her. Raymond rubbed his face in frustration. So what do you want me to do now? She leaned forward. This is what you will do. Pretend that you are sick. Very sick with kidney disease. Let the doctor say he checked everything and could not find a match for you. And because me and your father are getting old, we can't help you. So let the doctor tell her that you have just 1 month to live. Mama, no. That's extreme, Raymond said in shock. How can I lie about death? Because that's the only way to test her heart, she replied firmly. If she stays, she loves you. If she runs away, she was never yours. Raymond looked away. Mama, I don't want to do this. You must, she said. This is your future. I will not sit and watch you be used by a girl like her. You will do exactly what I said. Raymond closed his eyes. Okay, Mama, I will do it. Good, she replied. Let's see the truth now. Naomi was at home, worried Raymond was supposed to be home by now. He had left earlier, saying he was going to visit his mother, but it was getting too late and she hadn't heard anything from him. She called his number again. It was switched off. Her heart started beating fast. Something didn't feel right. She went to her mother's room and said, Mama, I'm worried Raymond has not returned. He said he was going to see his mum, but he should have been back by now. Her mother looked concerned and said, Try calling again. Naomi did, but still switched off. Naomi was worried. What if something happened to him? What if he had an accident? Suddenly her phone rang. She rushed to answer it. It was an unknown number she picked immediately. "Hello," the voice said. "Is this Madam Naomi?" She said yes. "Who is this?" he replied. "I'm Dr. Sam. Your husband Raymond is here in City Central Hospital. He collapsed this afternoon while trying to enter his car." Naomi screamed. "What happened? Is he okay?" The doctor said yes for now, but you need to come now. Her mother asked her what's wrong. Naomi told her everything the doctor said. They both rushed to the hospital. The nurse directed them to the doctor's office. The doctor welcomed them and said, "Raymond is alive, but the situation is very serious. He needs a kidney transplant, or he won't make it past 1 month." Naomi held her breath and looked at her mother. Her mother stood up and said, "Take mine. I'll give him my kidney." Naomi shouted, "No, Mama. You are old. I'm younger. Let them take mine. Please, doctor, save him. Take my kidney." The doctor stared at them, pretending to be surprised. He said, "I will check if there's a match." Naomi held his hand and said, "Doctor, please. I love Raymond. I can't lose him. Please save him." Her mother added, "Please, sir. He's the only good man in our lives." The doctor nodded and said, "Wait for me. I'm going to see him now." When he entered Raymond's room, Raymond sat up and asked, "How did it go?" The doctor said, "I didn't even finish explaining before both of them offered their kidneys. Your wife and her mother didn't think twice." Raymond looked away and said, "I knew it. I knew Naomi truly loved me. My mother pushed me to this foolish idea, but now I feel ashamed." The doctor returned to the office with a calm but serious face. Naomi and her mother stood up quickly. Naomi asked, "Doctor, please, can we see him? Just for a moment." The doctor shook his head. "I'm sorry. Not now. He needs rest. You can come back tomorrow for the checkup to see if you are a match." Naomi stepped closer, her voice shaking. "Doctor, he is my husband. Please tell me the truth. Is he alive? What are you hiding from me?" The doctor raised his hand slowly. "Madam, calm down. Your husband is alive. But we need to act fast. Just come back tomorrow. That's all I can say for now." Naomi's mother held her daughter's hand and nodded. "Let's go, my daughter. Let's come back tomorrow." They left the hospital silently, their steps heavy. On their way to the car park, Naomi suddenly stopped and looked at her mother. Her eyes were full of pain. "Mama," she whispered, "if anything happens to my husband, I will end my life. I will not survive it." Her mother grabbed her shoulders. "God forbid. Don't say that, Naomi. Nothing will happen to him. I believe God is in control. Just calm down." Naomi nodded slowly, but her eyes still carried fear. They got home, and Naomi went straight to her room. She locked the door, fell on her knees, and began to cry. "God, please, don't let anything happen to my man. I love him. I can't live without him. I don't care about money or anything else. Please, save Raymond." Her cries filled the room as she lifted her hands in prayer. Then suddenly there was a knock on the door. Naomi stood up and wiped her tears. "Who is it?" she asked softly. The door opened slowly, and to her surprise, it was Raymond's mother. She stepped in quietly, her eyes filled with guilt and sorrow. "Naomi," she said, "my daughter, please forgive me. I came to apologize." Naomi looked confused. "Mama, what's going on? I don't understand. Please tell me Raymond is okay." Raymond's mother walked closer and held Naomi's hand. "I'm sorry for doubting your love for my son. I thought you were like others. I thought you were after his money. I was wrong." Naomi was silent, breathing heavily. "Where is my husband?" she asked. "Is he okay?" Raymond's mother nodded slowly. "Yes, he's okay. He will be okay. My daughter, I love you. In fact, our whole family loves you. You have proven that your love is real. You've won our hearts." Naomi was still confused. "Mama, I don't understand. Please tell me what is happening. Where is Raymond?" Raymond's mother smiled through tears. "Let me go and call your husband. Wait here. Don't go anywhere." She turned and walked out of the room, leaving Naomi standing in shock. Naomi's heart was racing. Her hands were shaking. What was going on? What did she mean by, "You've won our hearts"? Was Raymond really okay? Or was something else happening? She stood still, waiting for answers. The door slowly opened again. Naomi looked toward it, expecting to see Raymond roll in with his wheelchair, but instead her eyes widened. Her heart nearly stopped. It was Raymond, but he was walking. Not with help, not with crutches. He was walking on his own, step by step, slowly but confidently. Naomi took 2 steps back in shock. Raymond, what is this? You can walk. Raymond smiled gently, tears already building in his eyes. Yes, Naomi, I can walk. I've been able to walk for a while now. Naomi's voice trembled. I don't understand. You told me you were crippled. The doctors said you had only 1 month to live. You needed a kidney. What is going on? Raymond walked closer and held her hands. Naomi, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for lying. But I need to tell you the truth now. Please, just listen to me. Naomi was breathing heavily, confused but unable to pull away. Raymond took a deep breath. When I met you, I was truly hurt. Physically and emotionally. I was in a wheelchair after the accident, but I recovered long ago. I stayed in that chair to protect myself. Every woman I met before you came for my money. They left the moment they found out I was a cripple. I was tired of being used. Naomi's eyes filled with tears. Raymond continued, Then you came. You married me for your mother. You didn't ask for anything. You didn't even treat me like I was less. You respected me. You stayed. You cared. Naomi whispered, But the hospital, the kidney, the doctor. Raymond nodded. Yes, that was all part of the test. My mother, she wasn't sure you loved me. She made me lie that I was sick and had only 1 month to live, just to see what you would do. I didn't want to go along with it, Naomi. I swear I didn't. But I had no choice. I just needed one last proof. One last truth. Naomi's tears began to fall. Raymond pulled her closer. You didn't think twice. You offered your kidney. Your mother too. You were ready to give up your life for me. That moment I knew, Naomi, you love me. Not my money, not my house, not my name. You love me. Naomi sobbed into his chest. Raymond, you lied to me. But I can't even be angry. I'm just glad you're alive. I'm just glad you're okay. I was dying inside thinking I would lose you. Raymond held her tightly. You'll never lose me, Naomi. Never. I love you. I love you with everything in me. I want us to start over. No more lies, no more tests. I want to do our wedding the right way. A real wedding, full of joy, full of truth, and full of love. Naomi looked up at him. I love you too, Raymond. I loved you when you couldn't walk, and now I love you even more. Raymond kissed her forehead gently. You've healed me, Naomi. Not just my body. You've healed my heart. They held each other for a long time. No more pain, no more pretending. Just 2 broken people who finally found love, truth, and peace. The news had already spread everywhere. People were talking in whispers. Raymond, the crippled billionaire, can walk. It was all a test. Some praised him, some were shocked, but one person was boiling with anger. Naomi's stepsister, Bella. She slammed her phone on the table and screamed, No, no, that man is supposed to be mine. Her eyes turned red. I was supposed to be the one living in that mansion, not Naomi, not her. She stormed into her parents' room, where her mother and Naomi's father were sitting. Have you people heard? She shouted. Raymond is not crippled. He can walk. He's rich. The whole world is praising Naomi. She's trending. She's now the wife of a billionaire, and we are sitting here like goats. Clara jumped up. What nonsense is this? So that evil woman and her loose daughter will now be enjoying in a mansion, while we sit here with nothing. Never. Naomi's father shouted, That's it. I heard today is their proper wedding celebration. Let's go and crash it. Let's go and destroy everything. Bella screamed, Yes. Let's go and spoil it for them. She stole my man. I will make sure she regrets it. The 3 of them ran out of the house, full of hate and jealousy. They entered the car. Naomi's father drove like a madman. Clara kept cursing. Bella was laughing like a demon. She thinks she has won. Let her wait. We will embarrass her today. The car raced down the highway, but they didn't make it. At a sharp bend, a trailer was turning. Naomi's father didn't slow down. He lost control. The car crashed hard. The impact was loud. The car flipped and landed in a ditch. When people rushed there, it was too late. All three were unalived. The next morning, Naomi and Raymond were in their hotel room, enjoying their honeymoon. They were talking and laughing when Naomi's phone rang. She answered and her face slowly changed. "What is it?" Raymond asked. Naomi dropped the phone slowly and sat down. "It's my father, Clara, and Bella. They're dead." Raymond froze. "What? How?" Naomi whispered. "They said they were coming to crash our wedding. They had an accident. The car somersaulted. None of them survived." Raymond sat beside her, silent. Naomi wiped her tears. "I feel bad. I feel very bad. Not because they loved me, but because they wasted their lives hating me. Greed and jealousy is not good. It destroyed them. They just couldn't let me be happy." Raymond held her hand gently. "They planned evil, but God didn't let it happen. It's painful, but this is what hate brings. Destruction." Naomi nodded slowly. "I pray their souls find peace, but more than anything, I pray that no one lives with that kind of jealousy again. Love is not a crime. Peace is not a sin. Why did they want to destroy me for finding happiness?" Raymond hugged her tightly. "You have me now. You have peace. Let's never let anyone come between us again." Naomi nodded as she rested her head on his chest. "I won't. I just want to love and live right." Raymond whispered, "And I'll be here. Always." Naomi picked up her phone and called her mother. After a few seconds, her mother answered. "Naomi, my daughter, how are you enjoying your honeymoon?" Naomi's voice was low. "Mama, there's something you need to hear. My father, Clara, and Bella are dead. They had an accident yesterday while speeding to crash our wedding." There was silence on the line. Naomi waited, expecting a gasp or a cry, but her mother said calmly, "I heard already." Naomi was surprised. "Mama, aren't you shocked? Aren't you sad?" Her mother replied, "No, my daughter, I'm not sorry. I will not lie to you. That man was never a husband to me. Clara mocked me daily. Bella insulted you every time. They hated us, and now the same hatred they used to live is what ended their lives." Naomi was quiet. Her mother continued, "This is why I always told you, never repay evil with evil. If we had fought them with the same wickedness, we would have been destroyed too. But we chose peace. And God fought for us." Naomi wiped her tears slowly. "Mama, I feel bad. Even if they were wicked, I still feel bad." Her mother said gently, "It's normal to feel bad, my daughter. But don't let guilt enter your heart. You did nothing wrong. They destroyed themselves with jealousy, envy, and pride. Greed blinded them. Wickedness filled their hearts. They wanted to ruin your joy. But see what happened instead." Naomi nodded. "Mama, you're right." Her mother added, "Let this be a lesson to anyone who hears our story. Don't envy others. Don't fight people just because they found happiness. What is meant for you will never pass you by. And what is not yours, no matter how you chase it, will never stay." Naomi took a deep breath. Her mother said, "Keep living right. Keep loving your husband, and never look back. What's dead is dead. Let the past bury itself, but let the lesson remain." Dear viewers, what lessons did you take away from this dramatic tale? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the story, give us a thumbs up, share it with friends, and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest updates. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.